Welcome to Fotokem.
Founded in 1963 as a small film lab in Burbank, California,
Fotokem has now grown into a full post-production studio and is one of the last remaining film labs in the United States.
This summer, we were lucky enough to be selected by Fotokem as interns through the Academy Gold internship program. That's us.
Amy
and Liam.
During our internship, we were tasked with creating a project that encompasses what we learned about Fotokem's post-production process.
It's impossible to cover everything here at Fotokem and the many helping hands that make this business so successful.
So we decided to focus on how an actual piece of film makes its way through the various processes here at Fotokem, from undeveloped negative
to the final product. In order to show Fotokem's process, we shot our own test roll of 35mm film and followed our negative film stock through the many stages of Fotokem's business.
Many major titles have come through this laboratory in the past decade, including The Batman,
Tenant,
Euphoria,
Nope,
and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood,
to name drop a few. To start, when a production of any kind wraps shooting on set, they bring the undeveloped negative film stock straight to Fotokem. It is first checked in through will call, then it is taken to be developed.
After will call, the film is brought back into the darkroom and checked for physical imperfections. This could include breaks, creases, or folds introduced in production or handling prior to processing. The team operating the development machines are absolute wizards who operate in complete darkness in which one can't even see their own hand if it's right in front of their face.
Each roll of film is assembled into lab rolls and then spliced to the light blue leader and begins threading into the machine to be developed. The film runs through several chemical baths in the darkroom: pre-bath, developer, and stop. After it has made its way through, the film can now be exposed to light.
It continues to run through a bleach bath, fix, and then is rinsed with water. High-pressure air valves remove any droplets of water left behind that may leave spots on the negative. The film then continues through a series of temperature-controlled dry boxes on rollers to ensure that it is thoroughly cleaned and dried so it won't stick together. If the film sticks, the image may be damaged. So Fotokem's developers take great care to dry the film stock with absolute precision.
Finally, once the developed film is completely dried, it is removed from the developer machine, checked for quality control, and sent to negative assembly. In negative assembly, the film is once again checked for any scratches or defects. New leader is attached to the head and tail of each lab roll, and a punch is made at the head of the film to create a sink mark at the beginning of the roll.
After that, the film is sent on to cleaning. Here the film goes through an ultrasonic cleaner, running the negative through small rollers inside a chemical bath to remove any loose dirt from handling. This is important because the smallest amount of dirt or dust on the negative will show over the image once it's scanned or printed for editing work, which would then have to be removed during the DI process. Once the film is clean, it can take two different paths: printed back onto film or scanned and finished digitally.
If the film is being printed, it will be taken to color timing. Here, a color timer will review the footage on a Hazeltine, analyzing the density of the film and adjusting red, green, and blue color values to pre-visualize the positive image. To achieve the best image, these color values are saved and translated to printer tape.
The film printer machine reads the values on the tape, determining how much red, green, and blue light needs to be pushed through the negative to expose the positive. Once the print is developed, it is once again checked for any imperfections and is then ready to be projected.
If the film is heading towards a digital format, the developed negative is sent over to be scanned. In scanning, the film is placed onto a machine called the Scanity. Each roll is captured at a high resolution, transforming each frame into a digital file. The film can be scanned at various resolutions and aspect ratios. The entire frame can be scanned or overscanned, as was done here. You can see the entire image shot on film and some of the perforations on the side of the film.
Once an entire roll has been scanned, it is then sent on to Fotokem's NextLab software for dailies media creation to ensure that each individual take within the roll is separated to allow the correct metadata to be applied, and any audio can be synced for each clip. After that, a dailies colorist does a light color correction pass to help the film look closest to the client's initial vision during the early stages of editing.
After the creative editorial process, Fotokem steps back in to conform or reassemble the creative edit using the original high-resolution media. Once a project is conformed, the digital intermediate colorist takes over to work with the creative team.
The colorist helps to achieve the project's final vision, ensuring the color within each scene looks accurate to real life and is seamless between cuts, using color tools to help give the film a certain mood or feel, helping to tell a cohesive story while balancing technical decisions to ensure a project is graded and delivered in the correct color space. Shooting on film, if shot correctly, usually looks clean, authentic, and actually more modern than one would think. The vintage look of film in the past usually comes from distress, years and years of sitting on the shelf in storage, or improper care of the film after it's been used.
We created 2 versions, one clean version of our film and one distressed, vintage-feeling version, for the purposes of our own education and interest.
In order to create this vintage film feel, we actually distressed our film rolls by hand, throwing them on the ground to cover them with dirt, physically scratching the film rolls with scissors by hand, and even using certain chemicals to distress the film in creative ways.
That's how a film negative makes its way through some of the various departments at Fotokem, and ultimately to a finished product ready for screening. Our 35mm film successfully made it through Fotokem's post-production process, as thousands of feet of film do on a daily basis.
We learned in full how to shoot, develop, edit, color, and conform an actual, tangible film roll, something we will never forget and feel truly blessed to have been able to experience.